Right, boys and girls, we're going to carry on with a new sound today. And if we can just go through quickly last week's sound. The first one we did was S. And we made him into a snake because a snake says S and it makes this sound. And we made a rattle for a rattlesnake and we did stars. And then you drew all your own pictures in your brown blank book. So, the letter name of this is called S, and that's what we see in the alphabet. But the sound that we make is what we are looking at in grade 1, so that we can start learning how to put sounds together to read, is S. So now today's sound is K. But the sound is K, and the letter name is C in the alphabet. So S and S, K and C. But now we have a problem with this letter because this letter makes the same sound. This also says K. So the letter names are different. That's C and this is K. But you may have learned this in grade R, that this is a curly K, because it's like a little curl. And this is a kicking K. It's got a little foot, and it's the Karate King that does a big karate kick. Hiya! Kick. So we're not looking at this K, we're looking at this one. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to think about K words. We're going to take all of that away, and I'm going to take this away too. We're going to be detectives and try and find clues to find as many K words as we can. I've got some things for us here today. So we're looking for the K sound. So as soon as you think you know what I'm talking about, it needs to start with the K, curly K. Then you can shout it out at home and maybe I'll be able to hear you. So the first one is the one that we had on our wall at school. Here's a cat. And there's a capital K and a small letter K. And it's a cat. What sound does a cat make? Meow. Right. What's a baby cat called? A kitten. Right. And kitten starts with a kicking K. So we're not interested in a kitten, we're only interested in a cat. Right. So now the first clue I'm going to give you is about an animal that lives mostly in the desert, and people who live there ride on him or carry goods on his back because he can go without water for a long time. He has a hump. Right, it's a camel. And I'm going to put him on his side like that so you can see him. He's made out of wood and he comes from Dubai, and he was given to me by a very good friend of mine who visited Dubai. So that is camel. Right. Then, if I want to drink coffee, I wouldn't like to drink coffee, but I'm just going to pretend because I don't really like coffee. But if I had to drink coffee, what would I use? Yes, I would drink it out of a cup. There's a handle, and this cup is very special because my younger son went to Constantia Kloof Primary, so that also starts with a K. And there's their badge, Constantia. And when they had their photos taken, it was printed onto a cup for me. So I've never had anything out of here. It just stands in my dining room for me just to remember him when he was little, because now he's much bigger than this. So the second one is K for cup. Right, then I've used a lot of these lately because there's been load shedding. And what do we use at night when we can't see, when there's load shedding? A candle. Yes, and here's a candle. This is a special candle. It also starts with a K. It's called a citronella candle because when it lights, it lets off a smell that the mosquitoes and the bugs don't like. So we've got lots of mosquitoes lately, and I like to light this candle at night. And remember, we spoke last week about us shining our light like Jesus wants us to, and helping others and being kind to others. So we've got cup, camel, candle. Another animal that we get milk from and lives on a farm. Yes, can you make the sound it makes? Correct. Moo. It's a cow. Now this is a special little cow because it's actually a little jug, and it's a cream jug. So if you had dessert, which would be cake, maybe you would want to pour some cream over it. So you would put cream in here, and then if you look at his mouth, it's open, and then you would pour some cream over your cake if you would like that. So cow, cream, and cake. And last week when we celebrated Joshua and Bronwyn's birthdays, we sang to them. They had candles, and we were lucky enough to be spoiled with lovely cupcakes. So there's lots of K words. Then in December, we celebrate the birth of Jesus, and that is Christmas. And then people ask you not to light these because they make big bangs and they make our animals very afraid. But on Christmas Day, maybe you had some of these around your table. I had some, and we didn't pull this one, so I was lucky enough to have it to show you. It's a Christmas cracker. So it's got little Christmas trees on it, and you pull it, and there's normally a little gift or something inside, and you pull it and it makes a crack sound. So there's lots of K words that we learned today. Right, I'd like you to have a look around your house and see that when we meet again tomorrow, you've got some new K words that you can use in your book.